the conversation. I now have Vishal. Vishal is the head of Burrp. All of you have heard of Burrp. I mean, if you're a foodie and if you've got any remote aspirations to being a foodie, I'm sure you would have heard of Burrp.
Yes.
It's a user review site. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Burrp. Get a lot of my inputs about which restaurant to go to from there. Obviously, they are a lifestyle company, so they're dominantly focused on user reviews and an experience platform through which they're able to get that fantastic review and authenticity of information, right?
Absolutely.
So I don't want to talk too much about this, Vishal. So why don't you talk about Burrp? What's the business about?
Yeah, so we are fundamentally we're a local search engine, but we focus on the way we differentiate ourselves in the market because a listing's a listing, a location for a cafe coffee day is a location. The way we differentiate is with richness of the data that we have in form of what the hours of operation, what's the picture, menu, rate card, rate card for spas and stuff as well. And fundamentally, the biggest thing of all is user reviews that we've been collecting for last, since 2006. So here we have this wealth of user reviews of a lot of places, which is very hard to replicate because it's genuine. We maintain the sanctity of the user reviews. They're all closely monitor spam and so on and so forth. So that's how we've been growing, and we're now in 12 cities, about 150 categories of various things that we show. Yeah.
Fantastic, and you've got 1.5 million users.
We have a little over 1.5 million users, yeah.
Fantastic.
And that's average, goes up and down, yeah. Obviously.
Fantastic,
yeah.
Fantastic. And obviously, Burrp was acquired by Network 18 in
2009,
2009, right? So you're a part of a larger conglomerate right now.
We are part of a larger conglomerate right now, that's correct.
So where do you sort of see this entire story going ahead? What's your vision for the future as an industry leader?
Well, there's a lot of scope for growth right now. We're a young company still. We operate still as a young entity. The market is young. The market's not mature. We obviously try to talk to a lot of local business owners, lifestyle-based business owners, and some of them still don't understand the value of what a platform like this provides. Because you have everybody under the sun providing the information about what place, how to locate them, but how we provide value in form of giving options to a user to make informed decisions per se is how you have to tell those platforms. And then local as a business or local as a problem is extremely hard in India. Things constantly change, street names change, addresses change, and so you have to be on top of that. So it's a constant challenge, yeah, exactly. So you have to maintain that, and you have to educate some of these businesses to come pay us money because we're a business. So there's a lot of potential for growth. We're very happy with the way we've been growing. We're sort of doubling year over year.
Fantastic.
But still, there's a lot to go.
Obviously. So with 100 million users on the net, I mean, projected to grow to 300 million over the next 3-4 years, and obviously 800 million mobile phones. Yeah, mind-boggling numbers.
That's right.
Do these numbers mean much to your business? How does it work?
Absolutely. But for us, we have this interesting, Venn diagram of since these are lifestyle-based, we've intentionally kept it to lifestyle-based categories. So we need to be part of the cities where there are a lot of options to explore in form of things to do, and then it needs to have a decent set of connectivity for them to go and write and express their opinions, and so on and so forth. So we are now in 12 cities, but we still see that some of the dominant cities give us a lot more traffic than others. So the numbers might be big, and they're valuable to us because they give us a place to go to, but still, it's a journey right now.
Okay, so expansion for you, does that mean going into more cities? What does going into a city mean? Do you actually have feet on the ground?
Yeah, we have feet on the ground as well.
Okay.
So when we figure out what city to go to based on various parameters. We have a TV product. I don't know if a lot of users know about it. We have a TV guide. It's called Burrp TV, which is somewhat of a bellwether. It's a TV guide. It's a listing product for schedules, for channels that are available. But it's a bellwether for where the traffic is coming from, the internet traffic is coming from in India, because it gets this national traffic. That's our biggest, that gives us a good sense of, there are at least people there.
Very cool.
And then we can, pick those cities up, and then we can decide,
So your TV guide is your weather vane. It points to where you need to go. Huh? That's very sexy.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
So, and then we Then we
And that's online, presumably.
It's
right?
online. It's completely online.
So what kind of traffic do you get there?
They're about 30% of our traffic in terms of total traffic, and they're good. It's a good site. You should go check it out. Actually, it's very good. You can set reminders, SMS reminders, and such for shows and such. There's hardly anything that exists in the Indian market for that.
And obviously, TV being such a dominant form of media, you're likely to hit a large proportion of the target audience. Anyway,
that's correct.
Which is the universe.
That's correct. So we get some international traffic there, but very little because it's Indian channels and Indian shows pretty much. So we. Out of that, we pick cities that we want to, possibly expand into, and then it's essentially sending people out and getting a sense of, what are the places that we should be part of.
Fantastic.
I'm sorry about that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so that's kind of that, and that's how we pick up cities, and then we get in there. We pick categories that we want to be in, because not every city will have all the categories that exist in cities like Bangalore or Bombay. So we pick those and then we expand on it. We get rich data. It takes us, few months, and then we can get a city live. The platform's ready. We just get a city live, and then you have to evangelize that product because they don't know, and so on and so forth. So that's how we start getting more users on. And then we've seen over and over, just because the platforms now build trust. At least in other cities, and they can easily compare it. There are a lot of, when people see reviews, they tend to write reviews, and the ecosystem slowly kicks in.
Excellent. So clearly, that seems to be a bright future. Obviously, this is a fairly competitive space, isn't it? There's a bunch of other guys out there also.
Correct.
What would you think are the differentiators in this space? What would you think makes for a differentiated experience?
No, like I say, there are a lot of players, and the final result, which is business detail, name, address, phone number. It's the same between all, and everybody's chosen a different way to approach this problem. Just Dial, for example's model is different, where you just call and get a number. You're not going to call Just Dial to decide on where to go for a dinner for a certain cuisine if you have a mind. It's not a decision engine. We've tried to become a decision engine of sorts, where we're providing a lot of rich data, including user reviews, which is our biggest differentiator actually, just because we've collected so many. To help inform, and help make a decision for the user. That's we're local search, but we're more, we're not a call, get a number, get out, or just do a Google, get a number and get out, because you're actually trying to figure out, of the 3 places that I'm thinking about, or the kind of cuisine that I'm thinking about, where should I go tonight, and so on.
Excellent. So you're more a decision making, that's the direction.
We help, exactly.
Very nice, very, very cool. The last question, really, a very fascinating conversation this is for me. Talk to me about your own, Germany. See, you've been in Real, and I remember Real from those days where I used to sort of listen to music in the late 90s almost, right?
Absolutely.
And then you were in InfoSpace as well, which has had a,
very
wonderful at one point in time, it was amongst the biggest companies in the planet, right?
Valuation and market cap was more than Boeing or Starbucks, combined, I think.
And you've been in Seattle as well, so it's been a bit of a journey. Tell us about what drives you.
Me and my family moved back 2 years, like in 2010, back to India. We've lived in US for last 14 years or so before that, and the timing seemed right. The kids were young, and we wanted to try out because there's a lot of stuff happening here. All my friends were saying, "Come here. This is where the action is." One day I came here just to check it out, like what I saw, and things happened.
And bingo.
Once the decision was made, it was fast. It was just So I'm here now, almost getting 2 years. 2 years. It's great.
So what has been your guiding principle? What kind of what drives you? What is it that motivates you, or whatever? What I mean?
What motivates me? That's a very good question. Good problems motivate me, I guess. This is a good problem. Local search is a great problem to solve in India. Good problems, good user experience problems is what motivates
me. So it's user experience that you've been following.
As I'm a technology guy. Exactly. So
fair enough. Amen to that, and best of luck with Burrp. Hope you get to $1 billion IPO at some point in time.
Amen to that.
Amen to that indeed. Cheers. Thanks a ton.